For 2025, y'all, I don't have any goals. Oh, shocker. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Homebody Chronicles. I hope you're all doing well. This is going to be a bit of an interesting episode because, number one, I have a bit of a different setup for recording. So we'll see how it sounds. Feels good. Hopefully that comes across, but we'll see. And also, this is probably one of the first episodes that I'm recording almost in real time. Not exactly real time because I'm not recording the same day that I'm posting, but I have quite a few, I wouldn't say quite a few episodes, but the first few episodes were recorded, were pre-recorded. So, yeah, you guys get to hear my raw, real feelings. No, that was a bit dramatic. Anyways, I hope you all are having a great holiday season. This time of year, honestly, is my favorite time of year. Specifically the time after Christmas, just before New Year. I don't know. There's something about it that I just love. I feel like there's so much stillness and quietness, and I don't know, it's like right before everybody thinks that they need to grind, and to me that's when everyone is just the nicest. Before the days leading up to Christmas, everyone's in a rush or they're waiting to be off work, so people are kind of like antsy, and then right at New Year's everyone's back into like work mode, grind mode, whatever you want to call it. But this time, from like Boxing Day to I guess New Year's Day, yeah, everyone is just chill. Unless you go Boxing Day shopping, which I did for the first time ever. Do not recommend. Would not do it again. But yeah, I hope you guys have been enjoying this journey that we're on. I've been getting so much great feedback. I've been getting so much good constructive criticism. And for anyone listening, feel absolutely free to message me, whether it's on Instagram personally, if you know me personally, or even in the comments of if you're listening on Spotify or on YouTube, with some constructive feedback, because I think a lot of people so far, which I'm grateful for, have been telling me how great everything is when I know there's room for improvement, and the listeners are my ultimate judges, I guess. Yeah, judges, critics, in a good way. I won't die. Give me constructive feedback. I won't cry. As long as it's actually constructive and it's not just negative. I think that we have a lot of fun stuff to get into next year. I'm excited to see what the year holds. But yeah, let's get into this final episode of 2024. How have you guys been liking the fun fact? I wanted to start introducing different segments, and like I said in the last episode, I love talking about space, and honestly, so far, it's been working for me. If you guys like it, let me know. If you don't, also let me know. We'll see. Maybe I'll introduce new segments, but in today's episode, we're going to be talking about how my 2024 went. Yay! We're going to get a little personal. We're going to talk about some world events that I guess had an impact on me / were in my view. So let's get into it. January 2024. What was happening in the world? At least what was happening in the world that I was impacted by. Definitely all the things around the Epstein list coming out. Now, I hate that I'm starting off this episode on such a not fun note, but I don't have kids. If you are And if you have been aware of any of this, just all I can say is parents who have children, protect them. If you don't have kids and you want to have kids, be prepared to protect them, like your life depends on it. A lot of the stuff surrounding Jeffrey Epstein and all the Hollyweird human trafficking has really, to be fair, I've always known like Hollywood is just messed up, but to see it, like, it's become like dinner conversation, some of the weird things that have been happening, and it's just really scary. And yeah, wherever you plant seeds, they'll grow, whether they're good or bad. So all these people have what's coming to them. That's all I'll say. January was also the month when them protesters threw soup on the Mona Lisa. As someone who I would say is involved, I guess involved, or has been involved, or is interested in the art world, sometimes it really blows my mind, because if you're not aware, there was a pair of protesters. I believe it was a pair. I'm not 100% sure. But there were protesters who threw soup on the Mona Lisa. If you don't know what the Mona Lisa is, famous painting, currently in the Louvre in Paris. But their intention was to make a political statement about the access to healthy and sustainable food and how it's a right for everyone, which I agree with. But there's so many times where I found in like the art world, because at the end of the day, what they did was a performance art piece. Like, whether they want to call it protesting or not, they performed an abstract art piece. So their message essentially was, what is more important, art or the right to healthy and sustainable food? And it's like, correct me if I'm wrong, forgive my ignorance, but in what way is throwing soup on the Mona Lisa getting that message across? You know? I guess it's to get attention, and they got my attention. So I guess it worked. Also in January, I had the pleasure of visiting Daphne. If you're here in Toronto, Daphne is a gorgeous restaurant that opened, I believe it's 2023, I'm not sure, but I don't know, going there just really opened my eyes to how much I have kind of neglected my love for interiors, and how it's such a beautiful space. It kind of sparked in me just my appreciation and love for just well-designed interiors, because I think for me, being in a space really can make or break my experience, or being in a well-designed space can really make or break my experience. And I kind of fell into this trap of, I guess, function over form. I wouldn't call it a trap, but I was very much focusing on function of space over form, and I kind of lost my appreciation for just beautiful spaces. And I think being at that restaurant really sparked that love for beautiful spaces in me again. I honestly don't remember what I ordered, which goes to show that the lasting impression was made by the design, for me at least, over the food. What did I order? I think I ordered a shrimp cocktail, but like, I'm not a foodie, so it was good, but like it didn't last. Like, the impression didn't last for me. It was definitely the design of the space. But yeah, if you're in Toronto, or if you're visiting Toronto, I would highly recommend visiting and enjoying Daphne. I went in the winter, so I didn't get a chance to experience like the nice patio. But yeah, I would highly recommend taking a visit there. Now, February, the month of love. Is February considered the month of love? I don't know. It has Valentine's Day in it, so I decided to call it the month of love. My February was cold. I think everyone's was cold. If you live in the, I guess, northern hemisphere, it was cold. It was chilly, as they are, but February is also the month that I rediscovered, I should say, a lot of my solo personal luxuries. I started doing a lot of facials. I started doing a lot more facials, I should say. And I just really enjoyed my own company. And I started lighting my candles. In case anyone didn't know, I do have a candle company, Dusk Aroma Candle Co. We're kind of on a hiatus right now. We'll probably talk about that in another episode. But yeah, lighting candles, going for walks in the cold specifically. And I also started using the sauna like 3 to 4 times a week. And it was really fun to just sit in there, usually by myself. But yeah, sit in there and just, I don't know, be in my own thoughts. Which has become one of my favorite places. Yeah, so enjoying the small luxuries of life was definitely what my February was about. February was also a month where a lot of good things came from my friends. And I am definitely that friend that roots for my friends and their successes and their triumphs as if they're my own. Yeah, I'll never understand people who, I don't know, are jealous or just bitter when good things happen for their friends, or like as soon as good things happen for their friends, they're like, what about me? I mean, if you feel that way, it's valid. I think it's important to investigate why you feel that way, but I think, I don't know, my first impulsive feelings and thoughts when good things happen for my friends are that, like, I'm happy. Like, I don't know, when you win, I win. And not even like that. It's not even like when you win, I win. It's just, I just love to see you win, you know? March, that was my birthday month. And ironically, on my birthday, homes belonging to the Sean Diddy Combs were searched by federal authorities amid allegations of sex trafficking, sexual assault, and against the rap singer and producer. Now, I'm not gonna get into all of this, but again, Holly Weird was Holly Weirding again. He has what's coming for him. We'll see what's in store. But also, something that I should mention is that you should really take your focus off of those things. I know I'm mentioning these things, but it's like I don't want it to ever be, don't ever get it twisted. Like, I'm not sitting here like following along, because that's A, unhealthy, and B, I don't know these people, and thankfully I don't. And all I can learn from these situations is that, like I said, they have what's coming for them, and protect your kids. Anyway, so yeah, my birthday is March 25th. I'm so not a huge like birthday person. I don't know, like I've never been, I'm grateful for my birthday and I love when my birthday comes around, but I've never been into making it a big deal. And the main reason is I don't like having a bunch of attention on just me. So, anyways, but yeah, my birthday is in March. A lot of fun stuff happened in March. And the other thing I love about my birthday, I will say, is that my birthday falls like around or with a lot of other people in my family and community, which comes in clutch, because when I tell you the amount of joint birthday parties I've had, because when everyone's singing happy birthday, it's not just me that they're looking at, and it's not just me that they're expecting a speech from. So I love that about my birthday. Yeah, I'm able to evade everyone's undivided attention, which is beautiful. So when a lot of other people are kind of annoyed with having birthdays with cousins or siblings, it's the perfect setup for me. In 2024, my birthday, I don't know, honestly, I didn't do anything crazy or significant. For my 25th birthday, I booked a hotel with my sisters. So that was kind of like enough fun for a little while. But yeah, 2024, I didn't really do anything crazy. I had the day off. I think, what did I do? I think I got a facial. Yeah, I think I got a facial and then I just chilled. But one fun fact is I have a habit of putting more weight on my odd number birthdays versus my even number birthdays. So like I said, for my 25th birthday, I booked a hotel in the city. That was a lot of fun. Definitely gonna go back. We went to the, oh shoot, where did we go? So hotel on Queen Street. Do you know much about Black history? Oh, you guys weren't supposed to hear that. The Broadview. So I spent my 25th birthday at the Broadview, which was fun. It's a very nice vibe. Service was great. Yeah, it's just a really aesthetic and beautiful hotel. And if you're in the city and you want to be in a hotel that's still in the city but not like in the heart of all the busyness, I would definitely recommend the Broadview. It also looks like a really nice wedding venue. Actually, the weekend that we were there, there was a wedding happening. So like I said, my even number birthdays, I don't know what it is, but I just don't have as much oomph in me to do anything. But yeah, I'll be turning 27 in 2025, so maybe I might ball out. I don't know. We'll see. A warning to all my friends listening, do not surprise me with anything, please. Please. Yeah, that's it. April 2024. April 2024 was the year that Taylor Swift became a billionaire. Whoa, congrats to her. But yeah, she became a billionaire. Good for her. Send some my way, girly, please. Thanks. Okay. A few things for me in April is that I really started learning when it comes to people and loving people. Your expectations can sometimes ruin things. And what I mean by that is you can have all these ideas in your head of what people should and shouldn't be for you. And it kind of caused me, at least, to ignore reality. And yes, there's a sense of, I guess, hopefulness or optimism that you should have beyond accepting your reality that's right in front of you. But at the same time, like, I was really just trying to mold people into something that they weren't. And yeah, it just led to disappointment. So my takeaway from April was definitely to let people tell you who they are and don't try and make people who you think they should be. Have high standards and protect your peace, but yeah, let people tell you who they are. And when they tell you, believe them. May was Mother's Day. Shout out to all the mothers, the birth givers, the wombs. A good mother is a gem, so keep your moms close. If you don't have a good relationship with your mom, I sympathize. I'm privileged enough and grateful to have a great relationship with my mother, and I'd say if you do, cherish it and appreciate it. If you don't, I don't know what your situation is, but I don't know. If it's worth salvaging, I'd say do your best to try and rekindle. And like I mentioned just before, like let people show you who they are. And yeah, just see where it takes you. But yeah, that's me. June was a fun but busy month. June, some of my closest friends from childhood got married. I guess I should say I was close to the bride. But yeah, she got married to her groom. It was beautiful to watch. I was in a Shwebi girl for the first time, which was a lot of fun. If you're Nigerian or you know Nigerian culture, you know what goes into being a Shoibi girl. Yeah, just watching your friends get married is definitely surreal. Like, watching your friends from childhood get married, because it's like, yo, we're the adults. Like, we're the ones that are gonna be making the world go around. That's crazy. But yeah, guys, like, 2024 was the year. I don't know, it was just, adulting was really happening for me, my friends, my family. People were buying houses, people were starting families, people were getting engaged and married. Like, what? Anyways, but yeah, a lot of fun firsts for a lot of people in June. July was the month that Hurricane Beryl devastated a lot of areas and homes, not in the Caribbean, but not limited to the Caribbean. I'm mentioning the Caribbean because, in case you didn't know, I am first generation Canadian to 2 Trinidadian parents. So I got to see firsthand, I guess, how Hurricane Beryl devastated a lot of people back home, as people would call it. But it also showed me how Caribbeans have mastered the art of, I don't even know the word, optimism. It's funny because a lot of people have been sending me or like posting that video of Trevor Noah, the South African comedian, talking about like liming culture, and like how in the Caribbean, not only Trinidad, but in the Caribbean, there's just a, I don't know, like everything's gonna be okay kind of attitude. And honestly, where it's good, it's good, and where it's bad, it's bad. But that's something that I really admire. There were people doing the most when their entire house and land were being flooded away, and it was just because there's this, I don't know, childlike undying sense of optimism and like joy, and nothing could stop it. And it was beautiful to see, especially surrounding the devastation in connection with Hurricane Beryl. Don't get me wrong, there were a lot of people who, you know, weren't able to find joy, and that's also normal, that's also valid, because at the end of the day it was devastating. Like, that's not a question. But there were still quite a few people who were able to see the light in such a negative and sad situation, and I love that for them, and I will hold that with me. July was also the month that I experienced my first all-inclusive resort. So I had the privilege of vacationing in Mexico, Cancun to be specific, and I went to my first all-inclusive, and boy, when I tell you, we were spoiled. Like, I don't want to have vacations any other way now. Like, what do you mean all-inclusive? What do you mean I wake up and I roll out of bed and I go get full buffet breakfast and I don't have to pay any extra? What? That's who I need to be. That's who I am. But yeah, we were actually there in Mexico while Hurricane Beryl was happening, and kudos to the team at Oceans, Coral, and Turquesa. They did a great job at making everyone feel comfortable, because if you think about it, people who are visiting these resorts aren't people who have experienced hurricanes, at least a good majority of them. So they handled everything really well. Their protocols were really, they did a great job at enforcing everything so that everyone was safe, and everyone had a great time. I lived through my first hurricane, y'all, and it was interesting. Yeah, July was also a month where I really started to thank God for protecting me from things I couldn't see, both in like my spiritual walk, my physical walk. Does that make sense? But yeah, I just wanted to read an excerpt from a journal entry that I wrote in July, and it says, "I'm in a place where I'm not where I want to be. I kept feeling the uneasiness of comfortability and coasting. Then you came and flipped some tables, and now here I am fighting for my life. I always am, but now it's got a little bit of a spice to it." And basically what I meant by that was, again, like God was protecting me from what I couldn't see. For a while, I was just feeling really stagnant and I don't know, like comfortable. And like there was an uneasiness in me because I was like, I don't have any challenge in my life right now, and that makes me uncomfortable. And not that I'm praying for challenge, or not that I desire challenge, but I just know that sometimes when I'm coasting, or like when I have no challenge or I'm not challenging myself, like I get lazy. And when I get lazy, like it just becomes a domino effect of me spiraling to rock bottom, and I just didn't want that again. But yeah, I thank God for protecting me from what I couldn't see, and in those two connect because because of the easiness and the coasting feeling, I was kind of noticing bad thinking patterns in myself, and by bringing back that spice to my life, as I mentioned, God really kind of brought me back to like a place of guarding my heart and guarding the life that he gave me and he kind of forced me to start stewarding my time better. So yeah, that's my July. Let July be July. August was fun. I got to travel. Oh, one thing about my 2024 was I had intentionally planned to be outside. I was traveling. Like I mentioned, we went to Mexico. That was fun. I did smaller trips here and there, in and around 2024. But we'll get into those more now. So yeah, in August I went to West Palm Beach. It's my second time in Florida. I love Florida. I love the heat. I love the people. I just really like it. I like it there. I love how much melanin I get to see when I'm there, like being in public and like having like 90% of I shouldn't say Florida. I should say specifically West Palm Beach, like Miami. But seeing so many beautiful brown and black people was just nice. I think I'd say Toronto's pretty diverse. But I don't know, there's just something about Florida. It's the sun. I'm telling you, it's the sun. The sun does something to people there. Not just only physically, but like just their entire demeanor and attitude is just different. And I need that in my life. But yeah, I love hot. I love I like heat. I was meant to be wherever the sun shines. And as much as I love and I feel like I'm so privileged to live here, and my parents worked really hard to build a life for me here, yeah, I love heat. I love where the sun shines all year, or at least where it's hot all year. But yeah, being in Florida this past August really reminded me of that. I got to meet a bunch of great new people. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. August travels were fun. September has always been like my reset month. I guess because school always started in September, so it was just natural to have it as my reset month. So September was actually the month that I started recording episodes. So there are still a couple episodes that I recorded in September that I haven't put out yet. One I might not ever put out because it was a little chaotic and I think I did too much on there, but we'll see, who knows. But yeah, September was kind of a reset month. Kind of rewinding back from when I started recording. I'd say March was when I decided, like, for sure that I was gonna do the podcast, and September was when I finally sat down and recorded and like did what I had to do to get my to get everything out there. So yeah, September was a fun month in that sense. September is also the birthday month of someone who's very, very special to me, who is now in heaven. And for some reason, this month I was thinking about them a lot. There were so many times where I'd be driving, listening to music, and like I would just burst into tears, which honestly is very dangerous because when you're crying you can't see. But yeah, I don't know. This month I thought about them a lot, and it just really showed me that life is short. Do what you can for God and the kingdom while you're here. Just because you're young doesn't mean you're invincible. Yeah, and I got to see people honor them in a way that was really touching, just because seeing, alive or not, or in heaven, seeing people love people that you love, people that you don't know, it's just beautiful, and it's touching and it's healing. And yeah, what else? October was a blur, guys. I don't know why, but October is always such a weird blur of a month for me, and this year no exception. Like, it was just a blur. October we had our annual Friendsgiving, which was fun, but other than Friendsgiving, honestly, October was a blur. I think I was just really busy at work, so I had a lot to do. I did record a few episodes, but yeah, October was a blur, guys, and I'm hoping that I can utilize my October of 2025 a little better, just because October is like the month where it gets cold, people are inside, there's a lot less social obligations. October is also our Canadian Thanksgiving, but still, like, I don't know, October has always been such a blur of a month for me, and I feel like I could accomplish a lot more if I use October downtime, if I have any, more to my advantage. But who knows, maybe that's just what God wants for me. He wants my October to be, restful, I guess. November was also a fun month for travel. I went to Montreal for the first time. Anyone who doesn't know Canadian geography, I live in Ontario. Montreal is next door. I've never been anywhere east of Ontario. I've barely been anywhere east of Toronto, if I'm being honest. Like, I feel like we tend to go west more. I've been out west more, so it was fun to be in Montreal. It was fun to be still in Canada, but like in a different culture. I learned that I know a lot more French than I thought I did, and it's shameful how much I know and how much I can't speak back. So I guess November 2024 taught me that I need to get back into my French, because like I said, I understand at least 90% of French, but my answering back, it's rough. Or not my answering back, why am I saying? My speaking is rough. I can read French almost fluently, I can understand French almost fluently, but my speaking is rough. So 2025, y'all, we're doing French lessons. Yeah, I'll let you guys know how that's going. But I'm going to be doing French lessons. I'm not ready for you guys to hear how my French sounds, but a part of me is saying that I should do an episode in French. Yikes. But yeah, November was also the month that I hit a career milestone. I don't know, it was something that I was kind of feeling inside of me. It was time for me to unlock this new level, but it just, I don't know, there was also a lot of hesitation and I guess self-doubt in me. But yeah, it felt natural once it did come, and I'm very grateful to be in a new chapter. I don't know, maybe one day on another episode I'll talk a little bit more about what I do. I'm kind of in my field of design and architecture, but kind of not in a way. But I really do enjoy what I do. I think, yeah, it's fun. It challenges me. Every day is something new. December, We're in December. Yeah, again, this month I was thanking God for protecting me from what I couldn't see. I think that was probably the theme of my 2024. Just thanking God for protecting me, and not just for protecting me in things that I knew were coming at me, but things that I didn't know, and seeing how God handled it and like the outcome before I even knew there was a challenge coming my way, was beautiful, and I'm grateful for. Like I mentioned, this time of year is probably my favorite. Christmas time, of course, but Christmas time as an adult hits different. Like, obviously when you're a kid, you're like excited for the gifts and excited for the presents, excited for the decorations, being with your cousins, like eating. As an adult, obviously, there's a lot more like work involved. Like, you're buying the gifts, you're probably cooking, you're doing the cleaning. But I don't know, holidays as an adult has really opened my eyes to a lot of good and bad things. The good things are what I'll talk about, but sleeping, y'all, the way, when I tell you, sleeping around Christmas, I don't know if it's the food, I don't know if it's just the way that our schedules change, but it hits different. And I'm so grateful that I have 2 weeks off because I can sleep. But yeah, it's been a great time. I hope you guys have all enjoyed your time, whether you celebrate or not. I mean, everybody enjoys the days off. So I hope you've been enjoying them. I also know that the holidays can be rough for some people, just depending on your circumstances. My one thing that I really will encourage people to do is that if you do know someone who is alone or they're having a hard time during the holidays, like, reach out to them, invite them over, take some cookies over for them. I don't know, something. Just let people know that you're there if they need you. And if you are the person having a hard time, like, reach out to people if there's people around you. And it's okay to just sit and be still and to take in your thoughts and your feelings and everything. As long as you're being safe, as long as you're thinking good thoughts, and you're at least trying to think good thoughts, I will say. I think it's very easy to get lost in the sauce of the holidays and just like the bright lights and the glitz and the glam and like the forced, like, capitalistic, is that a word? Forced capitalism, yeah. Of like buying things and rushing and just like, yeah, like even social media, like you'll see people and like you might start to compare your time with them. Yeah, just do what you need to do, stay grounded. One thing that is helping me also is just to trying to keep as much as my routine as possible. I think if you are a person that gets sad around the holidays or depressed around the holidays, a lot of it often has to do with seasonal depression too. So try to keep your routine, try to stay healthy. Don't be like me and drop off your workout routine, because I'm still not back in my workout routine, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. This is the end of the episode. That is how my 2024 went. For 2025, y'all, I don't have any goals. Oh, shocker. Yeah, I think for 2025, my goal, I guess, is to just keep doing what I'm doing. My goal is to be more consistent with all the things in my life. My goal is to stay inside. Y'all, I need to stay inside. I think, as I mentioned, my 2024, I had intentionally planned to do a lot more traveling and a lot more fun, extroverted type things, but I'm tired. Truth is, I'm tired. Okay, no, we're not gonna do that. Yeah, I'm tired, like, and it's nobody's fault but my own. Like, I can say no, and I didn't want to say no. I mean, that's the main thing. But yeah, I'm gonna be inside. Inside is where I'm happy. Inside is where I save money. Inside is where I have a healthy routine and structure, and I need to get back to that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. This is our last episode of 2024. Oh my gosh. But if you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're on Spotify or Apple Music, rate us a 5. Or else I'll send my prayers after you. And those do damage in the spiritual world, so you better give me a 5. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, like I mentioned at the beginning, give me constructive feedback. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what I can do to improve for 2025. Yeah. Anyways, ciao. I hope you guys all have a great new year, and I'll see you next Monday. Bye.